Hey, what's going on, guys? Zebs here, bringing you another tutorial, and this will be the second part of the Tenti Style. From the continuation of last week's, which was making the render. This part will be the Photoshop part. So the second part, nothing much to it. You're just basic banner stuff, and then I'll be showing you stocks, lighting, and then maybe some filters, I guess, stuff like that. So yeah. So let's get started. So, if you've seen the last tutorial, you will notice that the render is a little bit different. I did modify it a little bit. I added these little string here, but they're not like, you don't have to have them. I just decided why not. I'd have them there. And also, I did make the color correction off screen. This is the one I actually used for the style itself. So it doesn't really matter which color correction you use. You can make your own, which I'll show you just a brief overview of how this one's made. But just generally, if it's like a bluish, like a thick bluish / purplish, then that'll do fine. Or you could improvise and use your own color. It's up to you. But if you must have the CC, which a lot of people do message me, like they have to have the stuff that I use. This stuff's on my store if you want it. This whole PSD is actually on my store of the complete style. It's just up to you if you want it. But today I'll just be showing you how to make it. So the color correction, here's a little general overview of what I did. A gradient map, which black over white, and then just set it to overlay, 70%. A gradient fill, which is this blue tint right here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it over YouTube. Maybe if you're watching 1080p. Curves. Curves kind of. I don't know if I could show you curves. Yeah, this right here. I'm just gonna open each thing so you can pause the video and go through each one if you want. I did a blue filter. Here's the numbers right here. A vibrance +8, hue saturation +7, another gradient fill. Here's this, and then here's the setup. Here's the exact number for this blue if you want. Whoops. And I just added some blue bumps here and set the opacity to 2. So if I was to, so it'd look like this basically. But just set the opacity to 2, and boom, you got yourself a fine color correction. So the render and color correction, let's get started. And also one other thing, today I'm going to be using my Everything V5 pack. Again, kind of with the color correction. If you must, you can use this if you want. If you have this already, then you're golden. You can just use what I'm using. But if you don't have it, you could either purchase it on my store if you want, or any other pack will work as long as it has particles, lighting, stocks, and smoke. If it has those 3 things, then you're golden. You can improvise a little bit, things like that. So yeah, today we're just gonna be using my Everything V5 pack. If you want it, it's on my store. It's on sale right now if you want it for 30% off at this time. So let's get started. So the first thing what we're gonna want to do is what I do with every single banner is I use smoke. I start with smoke and then I go over particles. So for smoke, just go in the smoke category, and then get a smoke like this, something that you can use at the bottom. So this one would work. You can do stuff like this, do a bunch of this at the bottom if your pack has it. Or you could use this one, which I know a lot of packs have, same as this one, kinda. This one sometimes works. But we're just gonna be using number 4 if you do use this pack. So yeah, I'm just gonna refer to numbers if you do have this pack. So now for smoke, just set it behind the render and color correction. And as you can see, I don't know if you'll be able to see it over YouTube, but here, I'll just raise the opacity so you can see it. Just set it halfway like this, and then just leave the opacity at 15. So it's very barely visible. Just add a little bit of texture. Duplicate that and drag this one down a little bit more. Here, I'll do this. So drag it a little bit more like this, and set the opacity for this one to like 31. And then just duplicate this one time, and then do a edit, transform, and then just flip vertical, and just drag this one up a touch. So then there's a little bit of smoke. Then I'll just raise the opacity so you can see it. So something like this. And I'll bring it back down. So once you have that, what you're gonna do next is this is optional if you want. This is completely optional, as you get this one. If your pack doesn't have it, you don't have to do it, but if you're using this pack, you can use it if you want, if you think it looks good. What we're going to do is just kind of do this and just lower the opacity a bunch to something along the lines of 10%. Alright, so now we're done with smoke. Smoke is pretty easy, like straightforward, you know, easy stuff to do if you have the right smokes. So now that we're done with smokes, what we're going to do now is we're going to do particles. So particles, I guess, would be blizzard. Yeah, I guess blizzard will be particles, which will be just fine. So we're going to use number 5. And we're just going to, well, speaking of particles, I guess I'll go over this. You're going to want particles, which I guess most packs do have particles like this. If yours don't, then I don't know. Just find some particles that would look like this. It's kind of like thicker stuff. Another one that would work for you is this one. This one, your pack would probably not have that one. This one's pretty cool, or that one might work. I don't know, I haven't experimented enough with this one, but this one's really nice for other styles. But today we're just going to be using number 5. So just duplicate it into the banner, and we're just going to set it behind, in front of the smoke, but behind the render, so it look like this. Duplicate it with Control J, and just move it to the right. Doesn't have to be like perfect, and just lower the opacity a bunch to maybe like 33%. And once you've done that, what we're going to do next is we're going to do a little bit of lighting. So we're just going to make a new layer with this little thingy right here. Get your brush, set the size to, let me see, 600 be big enough? Yeah, 600 will be big enough. And get a really dark blue like this. Here's the exact color code if you'd like to copy mine exactly. So just put all these numbers in and it'll give you this, or you could just go into this thick blue and all the way here. And we're just going to kind of make a little bit of blue patches kind of coming. So something like that. And we're just going to lower the opacity down a bunch, like we're talking 22%. And once we've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to do another one, but a little bit bigger. But these ones are going to be right here. We're just going to do 2 here, maybe some in the corner, just to add a bit more blue. And we're just going to lower this one to maybe 20%, see what that starts with. We might actually want to lower it even more, maybe 10%. Yeah, 10% works, and we're just going to kind of do small patches here. Do that. So something like this. So it's like very small patches of blue. So now that we've done that, what we're going to do is probably do a little bit of lighting. Or not lighting, stocks, I mean. So for stocks, when I said in the beginning of the tutorial, I said lighting stocks, which generally what I mean by that would be stuff that would light up your scene, but it's in stock form. So this is a perfect example, and this is the one we're going to use. It provides a lot of light to it, and you can use it as a stock itself. So these are very useful, same as this one. We might use this one. This one's another good light one. Just stuff like that. So we're just going to start off with this number 4 here. You've probably seen this one. This is a very popular stock, but I mean, there's a reason why it's very popular. So what we're going to do is we are just going to kind of change the opacity just a tad bit, just to match the blue itself. Something like this. And we're going to make this in front of the render. And we're just going to duplicate it, move it over here. And then once we've done that, we're just gonna merge each layer here. And once you do this, you want to do this for a lot of stocks. Is you want to see what setting this is here. And in this case, this stock is screen. So when you merge it, you're gonna want to set it to screen to set it back to its original form. So once you've done that, we're gonna get our eraser tool, make it smaller, and we're just gonna kind of erase around the these like thingies right here. So it kind of looks like the lightning bolt is coming off of the thingy. And we're just going to erase all the, we're just going to call these lights off the logo itself, just to keep it clean, nice and clean, nice looking. So something like that. Erase all that. Kind of erase some of the sides. So along the lines of this will work. So once you've done that, what we're going to do next is add some of these, which this is a weird stock to use. I guess it would work in its original form, but we're going to set this one behind the the render. Whoops. Wait, is this set? Yeah. Set this behind the render. And then I need to drag this one. Wait, yeah, drag this one in front of the render. So like that. And this is, alright, there. So once we've done that, we're just going to lower the opacity a bunch on this one. Like, this one we have very, very, very small opacity on, so it's just barely noticeable. Just to add a little bit of detail. And once you've done that, what we're going to do next is we're going to add a little bit more blue actually over the render. So create a new layer over the light stock here, get a blue, and just kind of color over it like this. And just kind of lower the opacity just a bunch. So as you can see, it gives it a nice like blue look to it. Actually, I'm going to lower it, use a different blue, maybe a lighter blue. Maybe something like that. That's a good blue. We're just going to kind of go over it like that. Oops. Maybe something like this. And we're just going to lower it down to like 5 maybe. No, 10, 20. Let's do 15. 15's good. And we're just going to kind of go over some of these small little patches here just to blend it a little bit more. And once you've done that, let's see here. What else do we need to do? We need to add... sorry, I don't have this style like memorized for off the top of my head. We are going to add this thing, number 18. Now this one's for the people who do have this pack. This is one of those exclusive stocks. And this one too. We're gonna be using these two stocks. These are for like the people who do have this pack, but it's not like essential. It just it's nice. It's a good add-on, I should say. So we're just gonna mess with that one later, and we're gonna get our this stock here, and we're gonna drag it behind the render, or behind, yeah. So it'll look like this, and we're just gonna lower the opacity down a bunch, so something along the lines of 15. This just adds a little bit more blending to it to make it look a lot nicer. And then now we're gonna mess with this. Now this is a really cool stock to do. I've never seen this one before, so I thought, why not? Let's put it in my pack. So we're just gonna get a blue that kind of matches the color. So I guess something along the lines of this. So -155 if you're using this. And we're just gonna kind of go over it. We're gonna set it behind the render, and then just kind of go over this on each thingy, vertically, and then just boom. This kind of gives it a cool like. It's hard to explain what this is, but it looks really cool. We're just gonna kind of boom, and then do it one more time on the other one. Flip vertically, boom. Alright. So once we've done that, what we're going to do with all 4 of these is we're just going to lower the opacity a bunch on it, so like something along the line of 31%. And once we've done that, I mean, you could just add more with like other stuff like particles, lighting, whatnot. You could do more and more of that. You could always do more of that, but I mean, if in this case, this is just optional stuff. If you want to add like, you could add lightning bolts and whatnot if you wanted. But this is just the kind of basics to this style. Now we're gonna go into filters here in a minute. Here, let me just kind of, whoops. Make a new layer, boom. I'm just kind of experimenting. A lot of like stuff like this, you don't have to copy me exactly. Like you can use some of the stuff and improvise, but I guess if you do want to copy exactly, you can. So these are the basic stocks and whatnot that you need. Like this could be a completed banner if you'd like, but again, you could always do more. So I decided let's do more. So we're gonna duplicate everything. That's why I select all the layers. So duplicate everything. I'm talking the overlay thingy here, and the black bar, all that stuff, and then just merge it. Simply just merge it. So now if we were to deselect all of this and had this merged, it'd look just like this. And once we've done that, we're gonna duplicate it, and we're gonna start with some blur. Get some Gaussian blur. Have 4.8 as the pixelation. Get your eraser tool, and then set the size to 700 and just kind of erase part of it. Set the opacity of the blur to 60, and then just merge. Again, duplicate this. Ooh, sorry, hiccups. Duplicate this again. Go filter, other, high pass. Keep it at 3.0 yeah, let's just do 3.0 pixels. Set it to overlay. Whoops. Overlay. And then just bring down the opacity to like 60. Something like that. So it makes everything sharper. And once you've done that, merge again. Just get in a habit of merging stuff. Go. Now this part's optional. It's really up to you. Like again, it could be a completed band, but there's always more you could do. So this is for the people who do have magic bullet looks. Now if you don't, basically this could be a completed banner if you want, and we could do a little bit more for the people who do have magic bullet looks. So I am going to go over the stuff for magic bullet looks. For the people who do have it, want to go that extra mile. So open it up. Now this is Looks Builder. I've heard there's other versions of this, but I don't know. I guess if you have this, I guess they're all generally the same, I'd assume. But what we're going to do is we're going to kind of get a I can't pronounce that, but just get one of these flares. It's in the lens section right here, and then get an edge softness and make it something along the lines of this, and set the quality to 10 and the blur size to 3%, and just kind of make a circle like this, the inner circle in the very middle of the thing, and an outer circle kind of towards the edge, and then just an overall bigger one, and then get a vignette. Same with this one, just a little bit bigger. And yeah, this is all in the lens section, right here and right here. And I guess if you wanted, you could add a diffusion if you wanted, but for this case I'm not. Oops, so I'll remove that. Just click OK. And then we're gonna do one more thing, and then that will be all for this tutorial. So just let this load, and then it's like I said, it's a small difference. It's just like little details. So merge those together, duplicate, and then this is for the people who have Topaz Labs, Topaz Clean. There's something you could do with this if you wanted, if you do have it. But what we're going to do is get a crisp style, I guess. Yeah, crisp would look good. And just let it process down here. It might take a while depending on your computer because it is a lot to process. There's a lot of stuff going on in this for it to process. So just let that process. And we're just going to set it to overlay. And then bring down the opacity to 40. Actually, don't do overlay. My bad. Don't do overlay. Set it to normal. And just bring down the opacity to like 40 or something. And that will make a kind of small difference on it. Very, very small difference. I mean, if you wanted, you could leave it at 60 or something if you wanted. But I like it at maybe 45-ish, maybe something along the lines of that. But yeah, so that's an option. So that's pretty much it. Now what you're gonna obviously want to do is just brand your thing. So let me just quickly brand this. Let me do 20, set it to white, and then just make it super small in the corner. And then this is kind of weird, but if you guys want a tutorial on branding your banner, I could do a tutorial on that, like different styles of signaturing your banner to make it look nice. Obviously this isn't a good one. This doesn't look nice with it, but that's just an example for the tutorial. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this tutorial, guys. If you want more tutorials like this where I create a style, then make a tutorial on it. I can do that if you guys want. But for the sake of this tutorial, hope you guys enjoyed it. I have been your host today, and if you're watching all the way through this, please leave a like and comment if you did enjoy this tutorial. And also, if you do plan on recreating the style in some way, take a picture of it and send it to me over Skype or in this comment section down below, or even on Twitter if you want. It's at Zebs Arts. So yeah, I've been your host today, Zebs, and I'm out. Peace.